All right, today we are in direct sun again, cleaning a dark color car, and we're gonna be cleaning the car. It's not super dirty, but we're gonna be cleaning it without touching it. So I'm gonna show you how you could do a touchless car wash in direct sun without getting water spots, without risking any damage, any staining to the paintwork, the plastics, the glass. It's gonna be a completely safe way to wash your car, even in direct sun, when it's hot. First part I'm gonna start with is actually the rims and tires. I'm gonna use Pure Magic Cleaner. Now these rims are not that bad, but what are a little bit worse is the inner barrel of the rim. But when I talk about a touchless car wash, I include the rims as well. So I'm gonna spray deep in there and let Pure Magic Cleaner start doing the work even before I foam the car. But what I don't need to do or wanna do, honestly, is get in here with brushes and all that stuff. So I'll just do a few sprays on the outer rim, but those ones are already pretty clean as it is. So I'll do that. I'm starting on the more shady side of the car, and when it comes to the foaming the car as well, even though the sun's pretty much right overhead right now, you do want to start on the more shaded side and then work to the sunnier side. That's going to allow the foam on the car to dwell as long as possible, and that is kind of the key. Again, with the Super Soaper, as long as the foam is on the car, it's not going to water spot at all. But I'll talk about that more when we get there. For now, I want to spray down these barrels and get the cleaner working. Getting just a few sprays on the outside, not that bad. Now we can move on to the fun part, which is actually foaming the car. So I have 4 ounces of the Super Soaper mixed up in a foam cannon, and I'm going to be foaming a dry car. So you don't want to pre-rinse. Pre-rinsing just dilutes your foam down and really doesn't do anything for actually cleaning off the surface of the car. So I like to foam a dry car. And you can actually foam directly over the Pure Magic Cleaner that's on the rims. Again, just like I like to foam a dry car, I like to spray the cleaner on a dry rim as long as it's cooled down to the touch. And then I foam over it to give extra dwell time. How little soap I've actually used. My goal for this initial, the initial foam is a half of the foam cannon, because then I will use the remaining half on the second foam, which we're gonna do. But this foam cannon I'm actually trying out for someone's amazing. but this is what you want the car to look like. It's covered in foam, it's nice and thick, starting to dry in some areas, but the foam is thick enough and running down the panels as well. If it does start to dry on you a little bit and you're not ready for it to dry, no big deal. You can just foam it up a little bit more if you want. But I'm pretty good with where it's at right now, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow it to dwell and do the work. The whole idea and theory behind a touchless wash and the Super Soaper and Pure Magic Cleaner and really all my chemicals in the Jimbo's line is to let the chemicals do the work so that you don't have to do the work. It's a little hot today. Feels like 130 out here. It's not even close to that. But it feels very warm. But again, I want to let the chemicals do the work. If I'm in there with the barrel brush or anything, that's just a lot of work. If I could have a chemical doing it for me, that's a lot better. And again, as long as the foam is on the car, it is not going to water spot. So I'm going to give it 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll rinse it off and foam it again. All right, let's do the initial rinse. Okay, there's a couple attributes. I'll flip around this way, Bryant. There's a couple things that I want to make mention of with the Super Soaper that I see other soaps trying to do or claiming to do. And the first thing is that the soap is very runny on purpose. When I was designing the soap and talking with the chemist, Walter, about what I wanted in a soap, one of the main things I wanted was I wanted a runny soap. I do not personally like thick soaps. And the viscosity of a soap or how thick or thin it is really has nothing to do with anything other than just adding thickener to the formula. It doesn't, a thicker soap doesn't foam better necessarily. A runnier soap doesn't foam less necessarily, as we just saw. So that was a big thing for me. Also, the rinseability of the product. So as you saw with the Super Soaper, it clings really well, but it also rinses away really well. So that was another important attribute to me. So I felt like that was important to say. Now, we're gonna foam up the car again. Does this car, in the condition that it was, need to be foamed again? Not really, but there's a couple reasons why you may do a second foam. The first one would be if the car was really thrashed and really, really dirty. The second foam is just going to help break down that foam even more. Additionally, if you need to clay bar the car, you can do that while the foam is dwelling on the car. So the second foam you can use as your clay lube. We already know that the surface of the car is extremely clean, way cleaner than a 2-bucket method. So if you needed to clay bar the car, now on the second foam would be the time to do that as well. I'm going to foam it again to get even better cleaning ability. I'm going to check if it needs to be clayed anywhere else. And it's just kind of my preference to do a second foam, and I have plenty of soap to do it. So, but those are a couple different options of why you would do a second foam. If you're trying to do like a very quick 10-minute car wash, you just need something fast, get the majority of the dirt off of it. Definitely a single foam on a dry car, rinse it. If you have deionized water, drive away off into the sunset. You're going to be good to go. But my preference is I do 2 foams. I just do. Forgot to mention, obviously, if you like to do a contact wash, the second foam would be the area that you do a contact wash. I prefer to do it with microfiber towels. I could show you how I do that. But the second foam is when you would do the contact wash. I wasn't going to do it with this car, but if you did want to do a contact wash, I have those orange wash towels that I prefer, and I'll show you how I would do it. And the whole idea behind the 2-bucket method, which is the traditional way of doing things, is that you don't want to reintroduce any dirt back onto the surface of the car, so you have 2 different buckets. But what I found is if you had a high quality soap that actually did the cleaning for you, you wouldn't need buckets. And so I don't need buckets. But if you wanted to contact wash, do this. This would be the time to do it. Obviously, I actually do feel a little bit of contamination in the paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch over to clean the car instead. But the reason why I like a microfiber towel is like that. You could just switch to a fresh surface, fresh side and surface. But again, there's no dirt in there or anything because the surface is already clean. So this layer is just for lubrication, which then you could get your clay bar, clay mitt, clay towel, clay, whatever, and you have plenty of lubrication to do it on the surface. I'm just gonna get a little wet. And then you can clay with the foam on the car, and then you're skipping a whole step of having to dry the car, reclay it, yada, yada, yada. So I'm gonna be able to get this decontaminated. Really on the doors. Doors are good. It's just kind of these vertical surfaces. So what's awesome about this is now that you're ready to rinse, as the last step, I'm just gonna take an XL drying towel. I'm gonna dry the whole entire car. This is gonna be a quick and easy way to wash in direct sun, decontaminate the car, and then it's ready for Touchless shell, any other ceramic protection, a spray wax, anything else you wanna add to it. It's gonna be completely cleaned up and ready to go. So I'm gonna finish drying the whole car, but that's how you can wash, dry, and now you could go move on to something like Touchless shell or some sort of paint protectant onto the car. But that's how you can do it in direct sun. Wash, clay, and wax all in direct sun using Super Soaper and just some products that are designed to be sun friendly and work. So I will link everything below, but that's how you can do it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.